Welcome to the Double E Show. Bad strategy, horribly simulated. What's going on, everybody? Ep19 back with the Double E Show. It's Lamplight City. Welcome back, everybody. So when we left off in the last episode, we had Addie do a little snooping around for us, and she got some gossip from one of the grand dames of the city, and found out about Roger Devay and where he is currently located. And that would be the University of New Bretagne. So that's where we're going to head right now. So, yeah.
All the tools an artist would ever need. Brushes, pieces of canvas, paints. There's also several jars full of clear liquid. Interesting. This is linseed oil. It's used as a drying agent for oil paintings. It would be a good idea to take a sample of this, Miles, especially now that nobody's looking.
Right? Okay. Well, there's Roger Devay. Let's speak with him.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Are you Roger Devay?
I am.
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I have some questions for you if you aren't too busy.
Will this take long? This isn't exactly the best time.
It shouldn't, no.
All right then, quickly.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
Desiree? Yes, of course I know her. What happened to her was just awful.
Indeed. My condolences, Mr. Devay. What can you tell me about her?
She was a wonderful woman. Sharp, full of life, extremely witty. I only knew her for a short time, but I consider myself lucky to have had her as a friend.
How did you two meet?
We were introduced at a party and became fast friends. It's hard to believe she's really gone.
Do you have any information regarding Desiree's death?
No, none at all. It came as a total shock. I heard she was burned to death. Oh, is that true?
It is.
It's really just unthinkable.
Do you know of anyone who might have wished harm upon her?
No, everyone loved her. To think someone could be capable of doing that to her, it just makes me feel sick.
You painted Desiree's portrait, is that right?
Yes, I finished it just a few months ago.
Do you often do commissioned work?
Sometimes, but this wasn't exactly a commission, more like a gift.
You mean you weren't paid for it?
No, I didn't do it for money. It was an honor just to paint her.
I see. And did she like the result?
Well, she had it hanging in her bedroom and not in her attic, so I assumed she liked it well enough.
It was a rather nice portrait, I must admit.
Oh, so you've seen it?
Indeed I have. Regrettably, I can't comment on the likeness, never having seen the subject in life.
Ah, yes. Well, she used to say that standing in front of it was like looking into a mirror. I tried my best to do her justice.
Is it true that Miss Lathan recently changed her will to make you her beneficiary?
Yes. You can imagine my surprise.
My understanding is she left you quite a significant sum.
I don't see how that's any of your business, but yes, she did. I'm very lucky. Oh, I see what you're getting at. You're thinking I killed her for her money. Is that it?
I never said anything of the sort, Mr. Devay.
No, but I can see it in your eyes. Look, Desiree considered me the son she never had, and she was like my second mother. I would never, ever even think of doing something so horrid.
Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't.
Right.
I'll let you get back to your class.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Let's see. We need to go. So we need to go to the police station now and test that linseed oil.
Now that we've got some linseed oil, it's probably worth testing.
Okay,
Well, I'll be damned. We've got ourselves a match. I wonder if Edwards knows anything pertinent about this stuff.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
What do you know about linseed oil?
It's an oil made from flaxseed that has many uses. Most commonly, it's used to dry things like varnish or oil paints. Some people even eat it for health benefits. I hear it goes well with a bit of quark.
And it's flammable?
As most oils are, yes. Where are you going with this?
The oily residue on that rag is linseed oil.
Fascinating.
But I found no trace of anything used to light a fire at the crime scene.
Uh-oh, he's getting that gleam in his eye.
Wait just a moment. Linseed oil? Of course! Anytime linseed oil is used, extreme caution must be taken to dry cure rags that may be soaked in it. That's because when linseed oil dries and oxidizes, it releases heat. A pile of rags soaked in linseed oil in a confined space runs the risk of spontaneously combusting.
How long would this take exactly?
A few days, at least.
Interesting. It's a rather uncertain means of murder, but it's excellent for appearing accidental.
It's certainly not the most far-fetched conclusion you've ever come to.
interesting. Okay.
Thanks. That's all I needed to know for the moment.
Anytime, Fordham.
Let's talk to Herman.
May I ask you some more questions?
Sure, I ain't going nowhere.
What's your name, sir?
Me? I'm Herman. Herman Shaw.
How long have you been living here?
Oh, I've been here for ages. Since before the building got condemned and was torn down. They pretty much forced us out, you see, but a couple of us came back and set up here. Seemed like a good idea, and I had nowhere else to go. That's not so bad, except for when it rains. And I guess we'll have to bundle up a bit more when it gets cold. But other than that, it's like the place was still standing.
There's some of that classic chum ingenuity. Or maybe it's just delusion.
What happened to this place? Why was it condemned?
The building was old, in a pretty sad state, so the inspectors came by and said it was unfit for living. There was a whole lot of us here. Most were able to pick up and go, but a few of us stayed.
Why don't you go to a workhouse?
You wouldn't be asking if you'd ever been inside one. It's wall-to-wall people, children crying, sick folk coughing all over you.
But there's plenty of that out here, too.
Well, sure, but out here, there's freedom. Nobody telling you what to do except the odd copper. Not even many of them in this neighborhood. Besides, this is my home. Just 'cause it's missing a few walls don't mean I ought to abandon it.
I thank you for your time.
Yeah, those aren't half bad. I wonder if yeah, those aren't.
Okay. Alright, so let's look at our casebook here. So, declare Desiree Latham's death the result of spontaneous return to Upton and accuse Margaret Andrews. Okay. No. Linseed oil. Highly flammable. Okay. She's the only one that I have as a suspect. Alright. Okay. Alright. So if we go back here.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Have a moment to go over my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham. The walls have ears around here. If they find out I'm helping you, it won't end well for either of us.
Understood.
I'll still be here when you've solved it, though.
Okay.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it, then.
I need... because I think it's this Roger Devay fellow. No, this isn't the one I wanted. Where am I? I'm looking at... I guess it would be right way.
Definitely too young to be Miss Latham.
Alright,
Nothing new to ask him about right now.
I'm afraid I need to have another look inside Miss Lathan's room, Officer Kane.
All right, but please be quick about it.
okay.
That's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Okay.
As much as I like this painting, this isn't
Okay.
Miss Lathan's half-written article about igniting the fires within. Pity we'll never be able to know how it ends. Nothing else of interest in there.
Okay.
Just a pile of ashes. They can't tell us much more than we already know. I don't think there's much else we can learn.
Okay.
This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest of the leg is burned off. There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, "Dancing Through Life." Hate to break it to her, but that dance is over. I don't think Desiree will be able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny. Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite riches, of tastes most fancy. Where's all your money now? Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering.
Okay.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. The flames must have been fairly high to be able to stain the ceiling like that. Nothing else of interest in there.
Okay.
Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time.
Okay. Alright, so... I mean, we've pretty much... I think it's this Devay fella. It's gotta be this Devay fella. What else can I look around at? So we've looked at the supplies.
I'm guessing it's locked, but it probably only contains more art supplies we don't care about. Where dreams go to die. These aren't half bad. Nice to know the students aren't completely wasting their time here. These aren't half bad.
Okay.
Well, so much for modesty. Ooh, is it warm in here or is it just me?
He is a bit, yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Could I ask you a few more questions?
Yes, I suppose so.
How long have you been teaching at this university?
About 4 years now.
And do you also earn money with your painting?
Not of late. I haven't sold a painting in some time. But my salary from the university is enough for the time being. Perhaps someday I'll be able to devote the proper focus to my painting.
I'll let you get back to your class.
Right.
Okay. There's just something about him.
All the tools an artist... I feel as though this could be relevant, but I can't really see how.
Okay, let's go out here. Let's see if Addie has any input.
Hey, Addie. Here I am.
It's always nice to see you walk through that door.
Check the newspaper real quick. Morning in Harris, baby kidnapping, Gascon ground down, pound burned to death. Third mysterious murder has police on edge. Okay, nothing new there.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
I'll let you get back to your book.
So nothing there.
Enjoy your reading. I'll be back soon.
I look forward to your return.
Okay. One last conversation here.
Nothing more to ask her about right now. Leave her to her...
Okay. So nothing there. Casebook. So the only person that I have as a suspect is Margaret Andrews. Having a tough time with this one because I don't think
May I ask you some more questions?
Sure, I ain't going nowhere.
Tell me about Roger's artistic pursuits.
Well, not much to tell, really. He used to paint all the time when he had his studio in the building that used to be here. He was good at it, too. Shame nobody ever bought his paintings. All that's left now are those two unfinished ones against the back wall there. We used the rest of his spare canvas to make the tent.
How did Roger feel about his paintings not selling?
What do you think? Made him madder in the March air. Didn't do a very good job of hiding his displeasure either. At least none around me. He always used to say he'd find some way or another to make the money he deserved.
Odd. He told me he was content with the salary he got from his teaching job.
That's a load of bunkum if I ever heard it. Truth is, old Roger's about as poor as Job's turkey. He'd do anything to make a quick crown.
Well, now, that's certainly interesting.
yeah.
I thank you for your time.
Well, it's fitting that Mr. Devay is an artist, because I think he's painted us a pretty clear picture of what happened to Miss Latham.
As do I. I knew there was something about him. I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. So let's go to the map. Let's go to the police station.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
I'm done with the Latham case.
Oh? What have you got?
She was murdered by Roger Devay, a professor of art at the university, in order to claim her inheritance. Devay befriended Miss Latham and even painted her portrait, but his failure to establish a name for himself and earn a living from his art was driving him mad. Miss Latham cared for him as a son, and recently changed her will, naming Roger as her sole beneficiary. Roger knew of this, and decided killing Miss Latham was the best way to solve his financial troubles.
And how did he manage to do so?
Desiree had given him a key to her apartment. While she was out at the Grand Dame's ball, he entered and left a pile of rags soaked in linseed oil under her bed. She arrived home drunk and passed out, unaware that the rags were growing hotter by the minute. Eventually, the oil burst into flames, burning a rag pile as well as poor Miss Lathan.
How awful. Well, I'll certainly pass along the information. What an astounding series of events. Although I'm sorry you won't be able to gloat to Snelling that you solved the case before his detectives did.
I can find other means of amusement, I think.
Good work, Fordham. As usual, I'll send anything else your way as soon as I get it.
Roger Devay,
Yes, what is it?
you're under arrest for the murder of Desiree Lathan.
Oh, I see.
Come with me. We need to ask you some questions at the station. And you up there, make yourself decent, would you?
Dearest, I'm back.
There you are. I was starting to get worried you wouldn't make it home in time.
In time? In time for what?
For dinner at the Rutherfords. I told you about it the other night, don't you remember?
I'm terribly sorry, dear. It must have slipped my mind.
How you haven't yet been presented a prize for Husband of the Year is beyond me.
There's still time for you to get ready if you hurry.
All right, so we solved the crime. We will work on this in next week's episode. So, if you liked what you watched, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Tell your family, tell your friends. If you have any suggestions, tips, tricks, anything like that, no spoilers, put them in the comments below, because I will read them. And with that, I will catch you next Monday for another episode of Lamplight City. Peace. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, check out the playlist above, or watch what YouTube tells you to on the right. Oh yeah, and subscribe.